Good morning, Hebrew Israelites and the rest of humanity. Black people have to be dumbfounded by this because this is something you expect during slavery times when you had the black overseers who oftentimes did the dirty work for the masters, for their masters. I mean, is this what Trump meant when he said "Make America Great Again"? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, as a black homeowner, you look in your neighborhood and you want more black firemen and you want more black police officers. But when you get 5 black police officers murdering a black man and using the same talking points of white police officers who do the same, such as he was going for my gun, which was an obvious, which was an obvious lie. I mean, I understand what Martin Luther King meant when he said judge a person by the content of their character. The only problem is, how do you know the content of a white person's character? You can't just go by looking at them. So hopefully you expect that one of your kind can be trusted. But it seems that we are surrounded by ourselves. Black people are surrounded by ourselves, and we have become our own worst enemy. It seems like it's one thing to divide and conquer black people from white people, Asians from Hispanics, Mexicans from Asians, or what have you. But it's another thing to divide the community from itself, the black community from itself, in which you don't know what blacks to support and what not to support. It seems to me, however, that any black person in a position of authority is there because of his ability to take orders, even if that means betraying betraying your own people. And it reminds me of this guy, Eric Dyson, saying that YouTube content creators shouldn't have a voice. But like, who voted him leader of the black community and gave him the right to speak for black people? Al Sharpton, he's running around talking about black people aren't supporting the Democratic Party. Well, why should we support the Democratic Party? The Democratic Party hasn't done anything for black people, especially Bill Clinton with him and Biden's 3-strike law, which put more black men in prison. And then Clinton also came up with this: you want to get welfare benefits, you got to work a minimum wage job, which only subsidized rich corporations. So I don't know why Republicans even became upset with him. I mean, then you got um, Clarence Thomas, who was no Thurgood Marshall. Then you got the woman Jackson. I mean, Clarence Thomas was against affirmative action, which was to overcome systemic racism. And we should, in fact, that should come back because the idea that systemic racism is gone is obviously not true. It's a false narrative. And Miss Jackson, what did she do? A group of black people who worked for a defense contractor, an American defense contractor, complained of racism on the job. It was so bad that the company settled for, I don't know, $20 million out of court. And she overturned the judgment, even though it was settled out of court. So we're somewhat dumbfounded, and we're in a dilemma. But the reality of that situation is that we have to understand that black politicians and a lot of black people in the media, such as Stephen A. Smith, for one, do not represent the best interests of African Americans. And this includes Shaq and Charles Barkley too, based on their comments about Kyrie Irving and the fact that Shaq didn't apologize to Irving, and he's showing the movie. Then you have Shannon Sharp, who's just as bad. It seems like any black person in a position of authority cannot be trusted. That's just the facts. It is what it is. But as I said in another post, Mr. Nichols is in the arms of God, and he was chosen by God to do exactly what he did, to expose black police. And the thing that black police have to understand is that underneath the blue, they are black. Because their black officers, their black superiors, did not hesitate to exact justice on them, to fire them and bring them up on charges. Whereas when white police officers do that, their black police superiors will take up for them. And I've seen that over and over on YouTube on numerous occasions. So the key is this: black police officers must understand that up underneath that blue uniform, you are black. And if you have a black superior, they will sell you out. And if they sell you out, where are you going to turn? It definitely won't be the black community. And I can tell you this: those police will be in more trouble after they are convicted. Their problem starts when they enter prison and they are surrounded by black people. Hey, it is what it is. And the simple fact of the matter is, a lot of these black, like Shaq and Charles Barkley, make one mistake. Make one mistake. Because what happened to Kyrie can happen to you too. Peace. God bless. Hebrew Israelites. I will say this: change is coming. Change is coming. And what the Bible says is true. It is exactly true. Trust me. And hey, have a nice day.